What's up, everybody? Back for another beer review, and today is day 4 of Barrel Age Michigan Week here on the channel. And today I have another beer from Oddside Ales, and they are out of Grand Haven, Michigan. And this is their Rye Hipster Brunch Stout. So this is an Imperial Rye Stout brewed with maple syrup and then aged in rye whiskey barrels with coffee and bacon added. Comes in at 11% alcohol by volume, 66 IBUs at the time of review. This bottle is approximately 5 months old. And I want to give a huge thanks and shout out to a good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Jeff, aka NoJinx. He hooked me up with a bunch of awesome Michigan beers about a month ago. I'll post a link in the description box to the beer mail unboxing video I did so you guys can check it out. I have reviewed the majority of them so far, only a few more to go, and he is the catalyst behind this theme week because most of the beers he sent me were barrel-aged Michigan beers. So thank you very much, Jeff. I do appreciate it. So this beer specifically, I've never had before. I've wanted to try it for a few years now. I've had the regular Hipster Brunch Stout, which the difference between that one and this one is the regular Hipster Brunch Stout, I believe it is bourbon barrel aged. This is rye whiskey barrel aged. And the original one also was not a rye stout. It was just a regular Imperial Stout. This is an Imperial Rye Stout. So yeah, I mean, you're talking maple syrup, coffee, bacon, rye whiskey barrels, rye in general. Sounds absolutely delicious, and I can't wait to get into it. So let's crack it open, see what we got going on. So yeah, I've been wanting to try this for a few years, ever since I heard about it, and it's awesome that Jeff was able to send one my way because I'm super psyched to give this one a go. Let's give it a pour. Now, this has been out of the fridge for about an hour, so we're talking probably around 60 degrees, I would imagine. And yeah, should be proper drinking temp. Anyway, that pours out a, yeah, that's pretty much pitch black. Yeah, that's pitch black, about a finger of a straight up brown colored head. You know, has some creaminess to it, but it is dissipating. I'd imagine there's gonna be a thin film at some point here momentarily, but yeah, looks the role of an Imperial Rye Stout aged in barrels with a bunch of adjuncts. Oh, that smells really nice. Really sweet though. So first thing that hits me, a lot of coffee and a lot of maple syrup. So this is 5 months old, and I thought maybe the coffee would fade a little bit, but no. This is definitely giving me huge coffee vibes, a little bit of like an acidic coffee. Maybe not as acidic, maybe like cold brew, but then there's a big maple sweetness to this one as well. The barrels there add in like a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of spicy rye whiskey component, a little bit of oak tannin, but it's not the predominant note. It's really all about the coffee and the maple in this one. Now, I'm not really getting a bacon presence, maybe a touch of smokiness. I could mistake that for the barrel honestly. Yeah, it smells really nice. It smells sweet. It smells like a dessert beer. It doesn't necessarily smell like a straight-on pastry stout because you're getting the barrel and you're getting a little bit of like a savory tone to this one, but it definitely seems like it's going to lean towards the sweeter side of things. Yeah, the rye is actually opening up as I continue to, you know, pull out the aromas here. Jesus, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's springtime, so now people are cutting their grass. Dogs are going nuts. A fire truck just went by. Motorcycles. It's insane outside. They don't care about me reviewing. Then again, nobody really should, but yeah, it actually smells quite cohesive. Like I'm picking out different notes, but they're all blending together quite well. And this is, like I said, leaning towards the sweeter side, not necessarily like a pastry stout. It's very complex and rich and decadent on the nose, and man, is it inviting. So let's get into it. Cheers, everybody, and thanks again, Jeff. That's fucking delicious is what that is. Yo, it's a great beer. So the first thing that hits me is that sweetness I was talking about, but man, there was a lot of different complexities to just the sweetness in this one. A lot of dark chocolate, a lot of vanilla as well, and that way more than was in the aroma. That maple creeps up as well as it passes through the palate. A little bit of a coffee bitterness and a little bit of a savory, almost smoky bacon edge. This doesn't have like a smoke beer vibe to it, but you're getting nuances of that bacon. I would say the barrel is omnipresent, but it's adding just like a generic booziness to it to kind of let you know that this wasn't a barrel. Like if I was doing this blind, I would say it's barrel aged. I wouldn't necessarily say it's rye whiskey though. There is a little bit of a spiciness, but that could, honestly, I could mistake that for a lot of different things. I wouldn't necessarily say there's a bunch of rye in here, even though this is an Imperial Rye Stout and then it's in rye whiskey. I wouldn't say I'm getting a ton of rye. Maybe on the back end, mixing in with like a dryness and a bitterness. This is lower side of full body, 11%. I'm okay with that. That's cool. It is soft. It is smooth. It's definitely losing a little bit of carbonation. You know, I'm not going to say that in a year or two this is going to have no carbonation, but definitely seems like, or maybe it was just slightly undercarb to begin with. This is a sipping beer just because of the ABV and because of the complexities and what I want out of it, but I could pound this out. Now, 11%, I would guess this probably no higher than 10%. But because of that boozy barrel component and it just feels like a bigger beer. There's so many different things going on in this one. I can tell it's bigger, but I wouldn't necessarily say 11%. There's a warming in the chest and whatnot. Yeah, I really like the complexity to the sweetness. Like each time I go back, it's like maple here, vanilla there, and then here's a darker sweet, you know, dark chocolate. But again, they're blending together. They're very cohesive, Paul. They're very cohesive. And yeah, this is just freaking delicious. I don't remember what I gave the Hipster Brunch Stout, the regular one. I want to say probably like 4.5. This is just as good, if not a little bit better. So I'm going to say Rye Hipster Brunch Stout from Oddside. I'm going to give that a high 4.5. I'm going to say straight up 4.6 on this one because this is absolutely delicious. The body being a little bit thin knocks it down from like a 4.75. But there's so much complexity here, and I've used the word complexity like 17 times in this review, but this is very complex, and each time you go back, you get something different. You pick out, like I said, each time I go back, just the sweetness from the vanilla to the dark chocolate to the maple. The coffee isn't huge, the bacon isn't huge, but I like that. I like that there's nuances of that. There's subtleties to those flavors because it says with coffee and bacon added. I'm not expecting those to be the star of the show here, but this is a great beer. I'm really, really happy that Jeff sent this one my way, so thank you very much, man. If you've had this one before, let me know what you think, and if you can get your hands on it, definitely do so. I think they released this probably for their Black Friday release. I'm pretty sure this is 5 months old, released sometime in early, or not released, but bottled sometime in, I believe, November. So yeah, probably released for Black Friday. Anyway, that was a Rye Hipster Brunch Stout. It gets, let's say, a 4.6 out of 5, but I'll just say 4.5 because quarter ratings. And yeah, let me know what you guys think, and appreciate you stopping by. Tomorrow will be a day 5 of Barrel Age Michigan week here on the channel, and we got a couple doozies coming up, so I can't wait. Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by. To the next one, cheers.